All right, let's. I want to watch this one, the unearned power-ups from Dragon Ball. If you guys know me, I hate ass pull transformations, and that's what a lot of Dragon Ball is. But when it comes to Piccolo's transformation and Gohan's new transformation that they just got, I hate it. I hate it. So I want to give this one a watch. I want to give this one a little watch.
The longer Dragon Ball.
I want to give this one a little watch. Go check out Carthu's Dojo. I'm not subscribed to him. Let's give him a little sub. 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 All right, here we go. The unearned powers of Dragon Ball, bro. This is.
The longer Dragon Ball goes on, the more people throw around a specific phrase, unearned power-up. Whether it be a transformation, a new technique, or even just a character getting stronger in a disagreeable way, you'll always hear about unearned power-ups.
You'll see him
let's go over
Japan. You'll see
every
him.
power-up that's supposedly unearned in the series and see if it actually is. Original Dragon Ball is where we'll start, but honestly, there aren't many cases of a character
I'll also, give my take whether or not a transformation or a power-up was an ass pull or not. I'll let you guys know. Most of them aren't really. Some of them are. Some of them are earned. Some of them aren't. I'll let you know, though.
Powering up in a way that isn't training related. I think the first one you could look at is Goku fighting against Giran. No, not Jiren, I mean Giran, Goku's opponent in the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai. Giran uses his merry-go-round gum technique to entirely immobilize Goku, and seemingly he can't escape. That is, until his tail conveniently grows back, and even more convenient, this lets Goku escape the gum, and with a quick display of power, Giran resigns. It's
yeah, I never really understood that. I never really understood how Goku grew his tail back. And so same with Gohan. Gohan also regrew his tail.
obvious why people think this is an unearned power-up, but what if I told you it's just not a power-up? Only the dub has Goku say he feels so much stronger with his tail. The sub, and especially the manga, imply that his tail only gave him extra time to break out of the gum since it took a bit of effort. So I'd say this isn't a case of an unearned power-up, more so just a classic dubism. You may think the next unearned power-up is against Tao Pai Pai, but I think the 3 days of training with Master Karin and the additional explanation later on of it being a Zenkai boost are more than enough for it to make sense and feel earned. Don't worry though, we'll talk about Zenkais, specifically without training, more later on. For now, the more important Master Karin power-up to talk about is 2 arcs later when Goku drinks the Ultra Divine Water. This is actually the very first potential unlock in the series, and it's a power-up that's a complicated one to cover.
So he's speaking about power-ups that I really don't think are like, I'm thinking more of like transformations. Power-ups are a different thing. Like, yeah, you could be given an item and you're like powered up. That's a different story. I thought he was more I thought he was more going to talk about transformations, which I'm sure he's going to get into. But as of right now, these are just really like, this is kind of irrelevant to the argument I was trying to make.
Due to how the story of Dragon Ball changed with the Z, but the easy answer is it was earned in the anime for sure, as Goku needed to go on a journey and even face a fake version of Master Roshi just to drink it. In the manga though, the answer will be based on how you feel about the payoff. You see, for the longest time, Goku's Ozaru form was a mystery and a dangerous one at that. But after drinking the Ultra Divine Water, the Great Ape form changed into a representation of Goku's own hidden potential. This payoff is quickly abandoned, however, especially after Goku being an alien and the Saiyans themselves are introduced. So I think it's fair to think of this one as unearned, but I can personally see it both ways. After this, we could skip ahead quite a bit.
Here we go. Here we go with Z. He's going to Z.
He's going to Z. Everyone wants to invade Namek. This portion of the series is where everyone who was on Namek just kept getting juiced up, and honestly, it doesn't surprise me that people feel like a lot of this stuff is unearned. Let's start with the potential unlocks. Gohan, Krillin, and less importantly, Dende get their hidden power unlocked, and of course.
Okay, now this makes sense though. This makes sense because what just happened? What happened? Did the stream just be stupid again? I don't know. What happened? Oh god, I gotta check the stream now. Great. I'm so confused. Yeah, something happened to the stream. I'm so confused. It's fine. It's literally fine. Yeah, something happened to the stream. I'm literally watching the stream right now. Stream is fine. Dude, chat be like fucking with me sometimes. Chat really be fucking with me. Alright, let's get back to the video.
course, it's described as power they've always had, but it still doesn't feel that great that this is the way Krillin and Gohan catch up, especially when they're still so far behind. But that might actually be a good thing, showing that potential unlocks have a limited ability to make a character catch up without anything additional. This doesn't necessarily stay true later on, though. I can quickly go over Piccolo here as well. I think merging with Nail is a...
Yeah, see, okay, hold on. Yeah, merging with Nail makes sense because Namekians can merge with one another. And so that makes sense. And, you know, it just stacks your power on top of the person's power you're merging with. That makes sense. Makes sense. He's a Namekian, he's an alien. You know, he can do weird things. He also doesn't have a pee-pee. He also doesn't reproduce. Males actually reproduce, but he's kind of like gender neutral. There's no female in male for Namekians. Crazy, huh?
Pretty powerful moment, showing both Piccolo's growth and Nail's resolve to do what he must for his people and Planet Namek. So I think this power-up is narratively earned, and I think most people agree with that. The bigger issue is actually Piccolo's power before the merge. Depending on the source, Piccolo got 5 to 10 times stronger from merging with Nail. This skyrocketed his power level to over 1 million, as he was able to handle second form Frieza, but that would mean in the 5 days he trained with King Kai, he went from a power level of 3,500 to a power level between 100 and 200,000. I don't care if he technically trained for it. That's bullshit. The other famous unearned power-ups in this arc are ones I've already mentioned.
5 days? That makes sense, especially back then. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, I agree.
Zenkai boosts. When a Saiyan survives a battle from the brink of death, they get stronger. This happens for Goku, Gohan, and especially Vegeta. The point of these is to show that, in isolation, they actually are pretty ineffective. While Vegeta is able to deal with Frieza's initial underlings with Zenkai boosts, all it took was the Ginyu Force to show up, and if it hadn't been for Goku, he would have died before growing stronger than them. Even earlier than the Ginyus, Zarbon would have killed Vegeta if they didn't need him alive. Only furthering
I will
point.
say the Zenkai boost is the most out-of-pocket ass pull of all time. Toriyama literally just had to give Goku and Vegeta an excuse to get stronger without training. And so he made up the Zenkai boost, which basically means if a Saiyan comes close to death after a fight and they survive, they get exponentially stronger. They just get exponentially stronger. So yeah, I do think that's kind of bullshit. I mean, it's not that it's bullshit. Like once you like get used to it, you're like, okay, that makes sense. You know, he's a Saiyan. Okay, sure, why not? Humans can't do that. Only Saiyans can. Okay, cool. That's all right. But they did spam it. They did spam it in the Frieza saga, and you never really hear about it ever again.
Gohan's Zenkai boosts are equally ineffective, as are his Rage boosts at this point, so it only leaves us with Goku, who specifically trained while inadvertently getting Zenkais from it. This combination of training and Zenkai boosts earned him the power to take on the Ginyu Force in the same way I explained earlier with the Tao Pai Pai rematch. He did later get a very important and massive Zenkai boost that is basically one of the two reasons Frieza is defeated, so if you think that one is unearned, I can't really blame you because it is super convenient after all. Though, I will say for Zenkais on the whole, for an arc that's dedicated to accepting and learning about heritage, getting power-ups through his genetics is thematically consistent at least. Which takes us to the dumb argument people have made in more recent years, though usually they're not actually Dragon Ball fans. Super Saiyan. It's not an unearned power-up.
Yeah, Super Saiyan isn't unearned, bro. Super Saiyan 1, 2, and even Super Saiyan 3 isn't really unearned. We'll get to Super Saiyan 3 when he actually talks about it, but Super Saiyan 1 is for sure the most earned transformation of all time. It's literally hinted at all the way back in the Saiyan saga, slightly by Vegeta. And then, you know, they talk about it consistently throughout the entire Frieza saga until Goku goes Super Saiyan. That is for sure earned. But we'll get it to Super Saiyan 2 for sure too, because Super Saiyan 2, in my opinion, is also earned. Because only Gohan can do it at first.
Isn't the same as earning. More often than not, something being thematically or narratively earned is even more important and more satisfying than if it's acquired through training. This isn't the only thematically earned power-up either. That doesn't mean training can't be used as a good way to show that a power-up is earned though. The Cell Saga as a whole is a lot of power-ups earned through training actually, like the Super Saiyan grades. Other power-ups are earned thematically, like Piccolo merging with Kami and Gohan getting Super Saiyan 2.
Gohan going Super Saiyan 2 makes sense. It makes sense. because in that entire arc with the Cell Saga, Vegeta, Goku, all these Saiyans are all talking about a form, like an ascended Saiyan, like a form past Super Saiyan. They're always like, oh, I finally passed Super Saiyan. Oh, did you really though? You didn't. You didn't. Oh, well, this time I figured out how to go past the limits of Super Saiyan. Did you though? Did you? No, you didn't. Only Gohan did. Okay, Gohan learned how to go past Super Saiyan. Okay, so it makes sense because they literally talk about it the entire arc and they hype it up.
Which leads us nicely.
And then Super Saiyan 3 also, I seems like he's gonna skim over it maybe. Super Saiyan 3, in my opinion, makes sense because Goku was dead for 7 years, training on King Kai's planet for 7 years straight. And, you're telling me Goku, can't tap into a power. He doesn't even have it fully mastered yet. When he shows it off in the Buu Saga, he just found out about it recently. So, it makes sense. It makes sense that Super Saiyan 3 exists because Super Saiyan 2 exists. That's really all I gotta say about that.
To the Buu Saga, where the beginning is all power-ups earned through 7 years of training. Majin Vegeta is a potential unlock, but it's a very character-driven one rather than a random power boost to help him just catch up. And the point is, it's unearned by his own admission. So does it even matter?
I wouldn't say Super Saiyan 3 is a well-earned power-up, but it's earned because it makes sense. Because Goku was gone for 7 years straight, and Goku obviously seems like he has the most potential out of everybody. I mean, obviously Gohan realistically has the most potential, but he doesn't really be training like that. So,
if being unearned is actually the point. As much as I don't like Super Saiyan 3 narratively, it is explained well enough, and Goku continuing to evolve Super Saiyan makes sense when you consider the fact that that was his main training goal in the Cell Saga. I think the main unearned power-up in the entire arc is Gohan's ultimate form. And personally, I'm a bit mixed on it.
I agree. I wish Gohan made some sort of form that only he can tap into or only hybrids can tap into, because I always thought it was interesting how Gohan and all the hybrid Saiyans have the most potential because they're half Earthling, half Saiyan. So I feel like if Gohan used half of his Earthling lineage and half his Saiyan lineage, he could create his own transformation instead of getting some bullshit transformation by doing a stupid little fucking dance by the Kais. It's kind of stupid, actually.
While I understand that Gohan is getting his own potential unlocked, it does suck to have him built up to be the next protagonist, only to have him slack off enough that he needs this boost. That being said, he did train for the Tenkaichi Budokai, and even trained with the Z-Sword as well. Then, considering how Goku struggled to lift the Z-Sword, base Gohan might actually be stronger than base Goku at this point, so maybe you—
No, I don't know about that. I think it's a worthiness thing. I don't know if, I mean, I personally think Goku slaps Gohan in base form, bro. Like, I don't know. No. I think it's a worthiness thing. It's almost like a Thor's hammer kind of thing. Goku's not really worthy. I mean, Goku obviously, like, he's pure of heart, but he's also, like, retarded. So, and Gohan isn't.
Can consider the potential unlock a reward for his hard training. This is just another case where I can see it both ways. Then we get into modern Dragon Ball.
Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan God. Well-earned transformation, in my opinion. I think that one makes sense. It's earned. They don't get a new transformation for years, and then they finally figure out about Super Saiyan God. Makes sense. God Key. Makes sense. I get it.
Dragon Ball Super. Well, technically Dragon Ball Z, since both Battle of Gods and Resurrection F were actually Dragon Ball Z movies first, and there are actually 2 power-ups to talk about in Battle of Gods. The first might be surprising, but it's Vegeta's Rage boost against Beerus. You see, Rage boosts before modern Dragon Ball were entirely left to Gohan, with other characters only getting a boost from their Rage via a new transformation like Super Saiyan. This unprecedented way to get a power-up for a character that isn't Gohan actually leads me to think it's fairly unearned, but I'm sure that's a contentious opinion. Then we of course have Super Saiyan God. To me, the issue of foreshadowing this form is rectified by having Battle of Gods be an arc rather than just a movie, but even in the context of the movie, it's foreshadowed fairly well. You could think it's unearned due to it being acquired via a ritual, but the movie at least addresses this as—
I actually think the ritual makes more sense. I actually think the ritual makes the most sense, and I feel like the ritual is the best part of it. It's the most earned part of it. I don't know, that's just me.
Goku's main complaint with the form. Honestly though, Goku is the only reason the ritual can happen in the first place. He's earned this power by being the person who made it possible for 5 other righteous Saiyans to even exist. Remember, characters are more than the arc that's currently happening. their history matters for stuff like this.
Yup,
And for me,
yup.
that makes this power-up work extremely well. Super
Yup.
Saiyan Blue is of course earned through training, and even if you dislike the fact that Golden Frieza only
I mean, yeah, Super Saiyan Blue, like, I guess, like, they're starting to stretch you with Blue. Like, what, like, Blue is like, all right, we get it, I get it. You're just stacking Super Saiyan on top of your Super Saiyan God form. All right, no more, please, no more. Like, that's it. You pushed the limit. You've pushed the limit with Blue. No more. You can't do anymore. They do more. Some of them make sense. Some of them don't. Now, this is where it really, really gets sketchy. He's going to talk about Frieza's transformation, Frieza's golden Frieza transformation. You know, I don't mind that Frieza can transform, because he already has like 5 other forms. But golden Frieza and only 4 months of training? I understand he's a prodigy, but like, nah, bro, you can't catch up to Goku after just 4 months of training. Goku's been training his whole life with gods, bro. Like, okay, now golden Frieza is an ass pull. This is the first major ass pull for sure.
only required 4 months of training. Does that make it unearned? This is why just training for something doesn't make it clear if it's earned or unearned. We don't have a line for how much training is good enough, and honestly, you could call it unearned, and I wouldn't blame you at all. Which leads us to Super Saiyan Rage, the form Trunks acquires in the Dragon Ball Super anime. It has one of the coolest reasons to transform ever in the series. Trunks is basically being told it's his fault everything bad has happened, and he refuses to accept that, but that's about all we get. There's no foreshadowing, no explanation, and we're meant to forget it the minute the arc ends. I think you can headcanon a way for it to be earned, but it's never really acknowledged in the narrative, so I don't think we should either.
Yeah, we don't
this
really
should
talk
be
about that
obvious, but I think it's unearned. Then we get to the
I agree.
contentious power-ups that happen before.
All right, okay, so I would say the biggest elephant in the room for this the Tournament of Power is Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct, in my opinion, is earned. Bro, they tease Ultra Instinct all the way back in the Battle of Gods and in somewhat of Dragon Ball Z. Ultra Instinct has been, I mean, they didn't purposely tease it back in Z, but they tease part of it in Battle of Gods, and they talk about a form, like that, a godly form, throughout the entirety of Super, and then Goku. I mean, we can talk about him getting it 3 times in the anime, because I don't know if Bro should have unlocked. It's hard to explain. This whole Ultra Instinct argument is hard to explain. I would say, I don't like how Goku got Master Ultra Instinct in the tournament. I feel like Master Ultra Instinct, they could have saved that for later on, and he could have just like kept using Ultra Instinct Omen and eventually work up to Master Ultra Instinct in a future arc date later down the line. That's the ultimate form. Master Ultra Instinct, you can't go any further than that. I swear to God, if Goku starts stacking Super Saiyan with Ultra Instinct or Super Saiyan Blue with Ultra Instinct, I mean, like, bro, like, I get it, like, yeah, it would make sense. You should be able to do that, but like, I don't know, bro. Like, they're going really far with this. I do like Ultra Instinct though. Although, like I said, the one thing is I wish Goku didn't earn Mastered Ultra Instinct in the Tournament of Power. I feel like he should have just earned Ultra Instinct, and then later on down the line, like I said, he gets Master of Ultra Instinct somehow by constant training. Constant training. But it's a technique. I know, I get it. No, exactly. Ultra Instinct isn't a transformation. It's a technique. Although Master Ultra Instinct is a transformation, because he's transforming it. It sounds really stupid, but his hair color is changing, which means it is a transformation.
For the Tournament of Power. There are quite a few, but some are just misunderstood. Like the fact that Krillin isn't as strong as Blue Goku. Goku was testing how Krillin would handle such a large gap in power, which is exactly what Gohan and Android 18 say. Goku's clearly holding back as not to kill Krillin, and a god form is the best way to do that since they can't sense how strong he is. Not to mention the fact that Krillin was losing regardless. Then we have Android 17 actually being Super Saiyan Blue Goku level, and yeah, that's just unearned.
Yeah, that makes no sense. I mean, can androids even get stronger? Because I don't know. I don't think they can. I don't really think androids can actually get stronger unless you're like Cell. Like, I feel like Cell would be able to get stronger, but I don't know if an android, a fully robotic android, would be able to raise their power level.
I don't have much to say here.